Everybody, states are now being ordered to reinstate unemployment benefits. Plus, the federal government has distributed more stimulus funds to several states. And this means that many Americans across the country are receiving some form of financial assistance from the federal government. So welcome back to my channel, folks. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. And we have a ton of news to go over in today's video. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.
When we look at a budget, when we prepare a budget, it's imperative that we take a hard look at the reality of American life and that we build based on that reality.
Let's start with the most important news, everybody. The IRS has sent billions of dollars in relief to Americans since the start of the crisis, yet some people are still missing what's owed to them. If you haven't received a stimulus check or got less than a full amount, you may be eligible to claim the 2020 Recovery Rebate Credit. And to claim the credit, the IRS recommends that you file a 2020 tax return, even if you aren't required to. If you don't owe money, there is no penalty for filing after the tax deadline.
The earliest that you can take your Social Security benefits is 62. Now, if you are a widow, the earliest that you can take your benefits are age 60. Now, should you take your benefits early? That is the question. As you know, that the longer you wait to take Social Security, the more those benefits accrue, typically up to 8% per year. So there are a couple of factors which will help you to determine when to take Social Security.
After the tax deadline. In addition, you have to know the amount of the first and second stimulus check that you were supposed to receive. And you can find this amount by accessing your IRS online account. Another option is to use the child tax credit, which allows you to provide the necessary information to deposit monthly payments of the advanced child tax credit directly into your bank account. The IRS can use this information to send any 2020 Recovery Rebate Credit. And filing a 2020 tax return will also help the IRS determine whether you are eligible for advanced payments of the 2021 child tax credit.
Amendment will be a disaster for working people, for elderly people, for low-income people. It will mean, in my view, the destruction of the Social Security system as we know.
Should President Biden extend the unemployment benefits, or should he send out the fourth stimulus check? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Everybody, who is to blame for holding back our stimulus check? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? Tell me what you think. Just know that each stimulus check comes with its own eligibility rules, and you are generally eligible as long as your AGI is up to $75,000 if you are single, and $112,000 if you file as a head of household.
I believe we should invest in serving our seniors. Yes, I believe that we should invest in serving Americans with disabilities. I believe that we should invest in children who...
And while the May 17th tax filing deadline has passed, you can still claim any missing stimulus payments by filing for the funds by the October 15th tax filing extension deadline. The enhanced unemployment benefits amount to an extra $300 a week and have been in place since March 2020, initially introduced with the CARES Act, as well as the extra unemployment benefits ending on September 6th. The unemployment assistance and emergency unemployment compensation support will end as well, and 13.2 million people are expected to lose access to their benefits. But the Labor Day deadline is only the federal end, and 26 states had attempted to leave the schemes early in July. This was met with resistance from workers who were seeing their benefits stripped, and lawmakers argued that the continuation of extra benefits was discouraging people from returning to the workplace. But recent data shows that states which ended early unemployment benefits actually had a slower rate of jobs that were taken up. Do you think that President Biden will get the stimulus check sent out before the end of the year? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, everybody. Furthermore, the most recent unemployment figures of the Labor Department show more people are returning to work than estimated. In July, nearly 1 million workers rejoined the payroll, and the unemployment rate stands at 5.4%. Before the crisis, the unemployment rate stood at 3.5%, and it could be deemed that it is no longer necessary to get the benefits, as the US is tentatively returning to normal. Even a change of 1.9% represents hundreds of thousands of Americans who will be left much poorer without the extra payments. Plus, folks, I need you to know this. The child tax credit includes up to $300 of extra funding per dependent and per month, and there is no limit on applicable children. The value of food stamps is increasing to $36 per person per month, and this increase is starting on October 1st of 2021. However, it's only eligible for families at or below the poverty line.
It's great to be here with my colleagues, although I wish we were called back here to do the work of the American people that the American people expect us to do. You know, instead, right now, when thousands of Americans are still on the outside of gates looking to try to get into the airport in Afghanistan, in Kabul, when we've got our assets, our planes, our helicopters, our Humvees, weapons, they're now in the hands of our enemy. Instead of sitting in here and having hearings, instead of having conversations about what we can do to push this administration to do its job, we're here to spend $3.5 trillion we don't have, and we're here to have the federal takeover. That's what we're here to do. And let's make no mistake about what this $3.5 trillion bill is. It's a bunch of leftist nonsense that the American people don't want to see, with a massive takeover of healthcare and the expansion of the federal government to healthcare, a massive expansion of Green New Deal policies, trying to push us to being 80% carbon free by 2030. All of this stuff is the wish list of the progressive left and the squad. And that's why we're here in August. That's why the speaker calls us back in August while our people are on the outside looking in Afghanistan. I mean, I really want the American people to understand what the priorities of the Democratic Party actually are. That's what it is, to push a socialist wish list onto the American people, undermine our economy, spend money we don't have, put the government into your healthcare, into your doctors, and totally reshape the entire America we know in terms of our economy and our energy policy. And oh, by the way, amnesty for 10 million or more. I mean, that's the reality of what's in this $3.5 trillion bill. And oh, by the way, we'll be voting on H.R. 4 in the name of the Voting Rights Act, a massive federal takeover. Now, that's purposeful, right? I mean, the new word is to say that somehow putting in voter integrity is somehow voter suppression, is then somehow undermining the rights of people to vote. And it's far, far from the truth. If you listen to my Democratic colleagues, you would believe that the Voting Rights Act was not in force. It is. The Voting Rights Act is in force. They want to take it and they want to shove down the throats of the American people the lack of ability to use voter ID, the lack of ability to make sure that ballots are actually secure and have signature match. They want to stop the people in our states, in Texas and all the states that these great people represent, from being able to make decisions in their own communities, all under the name of the vote.